Hey, what's up guys, it's James here and welcome back to my training series. So in today's free training I'm going to be showing you how to speed up your website using 100% free methods. Now, not only are you going to massively speed up your website, but it's also going to increase your rankings in Google because Google loves fast websites. So before we begin today's free training, the first thing that I want you to do is to head over to a free Google service called Google PageSpeed Insights and put in the website that we're going to be speeding up today. So as you can see, I've put in my website, which is james-scholes.com, and I've scored a perfect score of 100%, and hopefully we can get you a perfect score, but don't worry if you don't, we should get very near to it. Now just keep in mind that Google has two search engines, one for desktop and one for mobile. So for desktop I've got a perfect score of 100, and for mobile I've got 95. Now, like I said, don't stress out if you don't get 100%. As long as it's 90 or above, you're going to do great. So if you're ready to start, this is how you speed up your website using 100% free methods. The first thing that we're going to do is update the PHP within cPanel. Now, all cPanels by default run PHP version 5.6. Now, if you move it up to the latest version, according to a ton of benchmarks and case studies, you should see anywhere up to a 50% increase in load times. So this is going to be really beneficial for speeding up your websites and getting better rankings as a result. So to do this, all you got to do is to simply go down to the software section and go to the select PHP version. Click on there, and then what you need to do is go up here and select the latest version, and the current latest version is 7.2, and then you would select that, and then you would click on set as current. Once you've done that, you'll see that this section here, now this is for super advanced people who know what their scripts need and things like that. If you're like me and you haven't got a clue about that stuff, then all you do is click on use default, and then that's it. We're updated to the latest version. Now, once you've updated to the latest version, what I recommend that you do is to go and check on your website to make sure it's running fine. 99.9% of the time it should be running absolutely fine, because all plugins, all themes nowadays are all designed to work on the latest version of PHP. But occasionally, if you're using an older plugin or a really old theme or something like that, or one that hasn't been updated for ages, then that rare occasion it could make your website not work. And if your website's not working, all you got to do is just come back to this section and put it back to the default setting, which was 5.6. Or if you want, you can just throttle it back to the version before the latest version. Try that, see if it works. If it doesn't work, go to version 7. So don't worry if you've nuked your website. It's very easy to fix because you can just throttle it back to the previous setting and it'll be all working again. So once you've done that, I'll see you in the next part of the video. Another little trick that you can do within your cPanel to speed up your website is to get your server to automatically compress all the static images on your website, therefore speeding up the load times for your visitors. So to do this, all what we've got to do is once again go down to the software section and then click on optimize website. And then once we're here, all you got to do then is to select compress all content. Once you've done that, click on update settings, and from that point onwards, every image that you upload to your website, your server will automatically compress it for you. So once you've done that, I'll see you in the next part of the video. So what we're going to do here is download the second round of plugins. Now these plugins are obviously going to speed up your website, and this should give your end user a much better experience on your website, and this will result in better rankings in Google. So to do this, what we need to do is first of all go to plugins and then add new. And these are going to be the plugins that we're going to be using. So the first one is A3 Lazy Load, and what this will do, it will not load the images on your web pages until your visitor is down at the point where the image is located, and this is going to massively speed up the load times of your website. So what we want to do is click install now. And then the next one is FV Gravatar Cache. Now, one thing that you need to do to speed up your website is to make sure that everything is located on your own server. So you don't want your website to fetch things or images or files from external servers and things like that, or it's going to massively increase the load time. What FV Gravatar Cache do, it moves all the images when somebody leaves a comment onto your server, and this will massively once again speed up your website. So we'll put that in there, and then we will click install now. And then the third one is Smush. What this will do, this will automatically compress all the images on your website so they're lighter and therefore load a lot quicker. And then we'll paste that in there. Click install now. And then the fourth one is W3 Total Cache. And this will help to speed up your website by catching all the files and the images in the visitor's browser, and it's going to make your website load a lot quicker. So we'll click on install now. And then the fifth and final one is auto optimize, and this is going to help optimize the code on your website so it loads faster once again for the end user. So we'll paste that in there and click on install now. And once that's done, what we want to do is go back to plugin section. And what I want you to do once you've downloaded those 5 plugins is to activate each and every one of them. So you click on there, click on there, click on there, and so on and so on. And once you've done that, I'll see you in the next part of the video. The next thing that we need to do is to configure the plugins for optimal performance. Now, thankfully, the first plugin that we've downloaded, A3 Lazy Load, needs no additional tweaking whatsoever because that's ready to go from the get-go. However, the Auto Optimize one does need some tweaking. So go to Settings, click on there, and make sure that you've got the following boxes ticked. So for JavaScript options, you want to tick the Optimize JavaScript code. You want to tick Aggregate JS files. And then in the CSS options, make sure you've got the Optimize CSS code. Tick the Aggregate CSS files. And then make sure you've ticked Also Aggregate Inline CSS. Make sure you've ticked Generate Data, URIs for images, and then for the HTML options, make sure you've got Optimize HTML code. And once you've done that, these 3 should be ticked by default, but if they're not, make sure you tick them. Then go down and click on Save Changes and Empty Cache. And once you've done that, what we need to do then is to go to Extras and make sure you've got the following stuff ticked. So now you can tick this, and I do recommend that you tick this, remove Google font, but it can change the font on your website and it can make it look uglier. So if you tick this and you don't like the font that it's changed it to, you can always put it to leave it as it is. I checked my website and I didn't like the font, so I put it back to leave as is. So you've got to try that out yourself. And then make sure you've ticked remove emojis, and then make sure you've ticked also remove query strings from static resources. Once you've done that, click on Save Changes. And to make sure that the website is working fine, I recommend just to go and quickly check it, just to make sure that everything is working absolutely fine and dandy. And as you can see, everything's great and the font has stayed the same. So I want you to make those changes, and once you've done that, I'll see you in the next video. The next plugin we need to optimize is FV Gravatar Cache. So click on Settings, and if you remember what I said about this plugin earlier, what it does every time somebody leaves a comment on your website, it has their Gravatar image, but that Gravatar image is not hosted on your website, and it can really slow down your website as a result, especially if you've got lots of comments with Gravatar images. So what this plugin does, it goes out there and it scrapes all the Gravatar images from the comments and it puts all those images on your own server, and the end result is that your website loads a lot faster. So this is why we're using this plugin. So what we want to do is to go down here, and where it says Gravatar size, put that down to 50. And what this does, it just basically shrinks the image even further on your own server, saving space, and obviously it makes your site load quicker as well. The other option that I recommend that you tick is daily cron, and what this does, it just automates the feature in the sense that it will go out a couple of times a day and scan comments and automatically scrapes all the Gravatar images and puts them on your server. So once you've done that, what you want to do is then click on Save Changes, and then we want to go back to plugins and scroll down until we get to Smush. Click on Settings, and all what we need to do with this one is to make sure that where it says image sizes, it's on all, automatic compression is on, metadata, we want that on. So what that does, it removes all the metadata from the image and it makes it lighter, therefore as usual it makes your website load faster, and we want to leave this one off. Once you've done that, we want to go down to Save Changes, and once you've done that, I'll see you in the next video. The next plugin that we need to set up and optimize is right at the bottom here, and it is W3 Total Cache. So go here and click Settings. Now W3 Total Cache is an awesomely powerful plugin that's going to really speed up your website and get you really super fast loading times, but it is quite an advanced plugin with lots of settings, and there is a lot of jargon that even I don't fully understand, but I'm going to show you how to set it up and get optimal performance, because once you've got this up and running with this plugin, you're going to get awesome results. So the first thing that we need to do is to go to Page Cache and make sure it's on enabled. Make sure that Page Cache method is disk enhanced, and then for the minify we want to make sure that this one is enabled on auto disk, and then minify default, JS min default, minify default, and then for your opcode cache, make sure it's on opcode zen opcache, and for your database cache, make sure it's enabled and it's on disk. It's the only one you can select anyway. And then going down to the object cache, make sure it's an enabled disk, and then for your browser cache, what we can do here is just make sure it's enabled, skip CDN, which we'll be touching on in the next part of this training, skip reverse proxy, network performance and security powered by Cloudflare, we'll be activating that soon. Fragment, no, we just want to make sure it's on disk. I think all these settings from this point onwards are already on. So what we need to do is, yes, go and click on Save All Settings. Now these settings are the general settings. To get more out of this plugin, we now need to go into each section of these settings. So the next settings we're going to go in is the page catch. So head over to page catch and make sure that the catch front page is on, catch feeds is on, catch SSL is on. You can't turn that one on. Leave that one off, and don't catch pages for logged in users. Make sure that one is on. Leave that off. And then where it says sitemap URL, you want to put your sitemap there. Now, if you don't know where your sitemap is, I'll show you super quickly how to get that. So what we need to do is go to the SEO, the Yoast SEO plugin, click on General, click on Open. I'm just going to open it up in another tab, so I'm going to keep this one open. And then we want to go to Features, go down to XML Sitemap, click on the question mark, click on See the XML Sitemap, click on there, and we can get the URL here. And once we've got the URL, we just copy it like so, and then we go back and we paste it in like so. And I think a lot of these settings are already on by default, so you don't really need to do anything else for this one. And then just click on Save All Settings. And then the next one is Minify. So we click on Minify. We want to make sure that we're in the general box and tick the rewrite URL structure. Leave the disable Minify for logged in users off. We want this one set at disabled, and then for the HTML and XML, you want to make sure that the HTML Minify settings is enabled. It's ticked for inline CSS minification. It's ticked for inline JS minification. Don't tick don't minify feeds, and then tick the line break removal. And I think that's everything that you need to do, because everything else is on by default. I think this one might be off though. If it's off, CSS minify settings enable, make sure it's enabled. That one is enabled, and I think that's about it. Once you've done that, then you would click on Save All Settings. And then the next one that we need to go to is database catch. So click on there. Go down here. No, there's nothing that we need to change there. It's already set up straight out the box. All the settings are there, so you won't need to do anything additional there. So we'll go to object catch. That's same again. Browser catch. Right, make sure that you've got set last modified header ticked, set expires header is ticked, set catch control header is ticked. Make sure you've got the set entity tag ticked, and make sure you've got the set W free total catch header ticked. Enable HTTP gzip compression, that's ticked. And I think, yeah, don't set cookies for static files. Remove set cookies, so tick that one. And for the CSS and JS section, we want to make sure that the set last modified header is ticked. The set expire header is ticked. The set catch control header is ticked. The set entity tag is ticked. Set W free total catch header is ticked. The enabled HTTP gzip compression is ticked, and the disable cookies for static files is ticked. And for the HTML and XML, make sure that you've got the set classified header ticked. The set expire header is ticked. I think that one's already done by default, so you don't need to make any additional changes to that. And then for the set catch control header, that is ticked as well. And then for the set entity tag is ticked. Make sure you tick the set W free total catch header is ticked. and don't forget to tick the enabled HTTP gzip compression is ticked as well. And then for the media and other files, tick the set last modified header, tick the set expire header. That should be done by default. And then tick the set cache control header, tick the set entity tag, tick the set W3 total cache header, tick the enabled HTTP gzip compression, and skip these ones here and make sure that you've got the disable cookies for static files. And I think that's everything else. Yeah, we're going into gobbledygook land, which I don't really fully understand. Once you've done that, then you would click on Save All Settings. And as it saves, I think that's everything that we can do for now with this plugin. So once you've done that, I'll see you in the next part of the video. The next thing that we need to do to speed up our website is to use a free service called Cloudflare. Now, if you don't know what Cloudflare is, it's basically a CDN which basically catches your website onto their server. But the big advantage of Cloudflare is that they have over 100 data centers all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you live in the world, there'll most likely be a Cloudflare data center in your country. And what this basically means is that they will be able to load your website even faster than before, hence why we're using this free service. So all you got to do is just do a search for Cloudflare, click on the link, and once you've created a free account, what you need to do then is just click add site. So what you do, you just paste in the URL of your website, the home page, click on add site like so, then go down here and click on next. Make sure that the free plan is selected, then click on confirm plan, click on confirm again, and Cloudflare is just doing its thing here, which will take about 60 seconds to do. And as you can see, Cloudflare has configured your website to work in conjunction with Cloudflare. So we scroll down here, we click on continue. Now what we need to do here is to update the name servers for your domain that we're using in conjunction with this training. So what you need to do, if you're using D9 like I recommended to you earlier, what you need to do is to log into the client area and then go to domains, my domains, and then when you're looking at your domain, there'll be a little drop bar on the right, and you'll be able to select manage domains. And then what you do then, you just go and click on name servers. So what you do here is we grab the first one, we paste it in like so, grab the second one, copy that one, and paste it over that one as well, and then we click on change name servers. Now this can take anywhere from an hour right up to 2 days for this to take effect. There won't be any downtime, it'll just take over, and when Cloudflare takes over, then your website's going to load even faster. So do that, and once you've done that, I will see you in the next part of the video. So what we've got to do now is to connect Cloudflare to your caching plugin. So to do that, head back to the WordPress admin area and then go down to performance, which is basically your caching plugin, and then go to extensions. Now this is going to take us to all the additional tools within the caching plugin, and the one what we want is obviously Cloudflare. So click on activate. And then what you need to do is to simply click on settings, and this will take us to the Cloudflare settings for your caching plugin. And from there you would click on authorize, and you would put your email in here. And then for your API key, all you've got to do is to go back to your Cloudflare account, go to your website that we've just set up, make sure you're on overview, and then right at the bottom click on the Get Your API. And once again, scroll down to the bottom where it says Global API Key. Go to View, click on there, enter your Cloudflare password, declare that you're not a robot, and then click on View. And this should give you your API key. So copy that and then go back and paste it in like so and click on Next. And then what you do here, Cloudflare is going to give you some websites that you've been working with. Choose the one that we've been working with, which is this one here. Click on Next. And there we go. We've now connected Cloudflare up to our catching plugin. So all what we've got to do now is to go down and make sure that you've put this one to on, the rocket loader, and I would enable Minify JS, enable Minify CSS, and Minify HTML. And we'll just keep scrolling down, make sure that everything is right. Yep. So you don't need to change anything else, and once you've done that, you simply click on Save Cloudflare Settings, and we're done. So once you've done that, I'll see you in the next part of the video. Hey guys, it's James here, and a massive thank you for watching this part of the training. Now, if you've got any questions about what was taught in this particular part of the method, then please leave a question down below and I will get back to you personally and answer your question for you. I'm always here to help, because I want to help you get the results that you're after. Now, if you enjoyed the video, I would super appreciate it if you hit the like button. Plus, if you want to be notified when I'm posting on this YouTube channel, my future training, then hit subscribe and give that bell a good old ding as well. Now, if you're ready for the next part of the training, there should be a thumbnail that will magically appear somewhere. Give that a good old click and you'll be instantly redirected to the next part of the free training in this series. Now, if that's not there for whatever reason, then don't worry, I've got your back covered. I've got some more free training in the description box, and it's basically a method on how to make money online using free methods, and it's 100% free to access. But that said, I would recommend to go through this series first, and once you've completed this series of training, then I would go and check out this other free course that I've got for you. That said and done, whichever path you choose, I'll see you in the next part of the training. See you there.